There you go.
How you doing? I'm Sheldon Henry.
I'm Ed Josie, President of Staten Island branch for the NAACP.
And why are we here today?
We're here today to put a highlight on stop and frisk and racial profiling, put an end to it as soon as possible.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, this gathering today on June 7th is something that we are doing to try to highlight the injustice behind stop and frisk police procedures. Now, that's nothing more than racial profiling. It's been going on for a long time. Now, the NAACP has been very active in trying to rid this city, this nation, of this kind of activity, but it has not worked to this point. Now, what's happening, this here is supposed to bring to light to people of Staten Island just what this is all about. On June 17th, which is Father's Day, we're going to have a big march from 110th Street between 5th Avenue and Lenox Avenue, down to 79th Street, 5th Avenue. Now, this here is to really highlight on Father's Day, mind you, the importance of this procedure and the reason why we should have it stopped. It's racial profiling. That's what it boils down to. Now, we're not saying we don't want good policing. We do want good policing, but we want policing done in a fair way. If a person is innocent or guilty, they should be treated as such. Now, we don't want a person who has done no wrong to be stopped, and quite often a person is stopped by the police department. He's done nothing wrong, but he's intimidated, he gets angry, whatever the case may be, and then he might do something to wind up getting locked up. That's not fair.
Yeah, it isn't fair.
Of course, he's been intimidated.
That's right.
And his eyesight, it might not be intended to intimidate him, but he feels intimidated.
Yeah.
So now he gets mad, he says what he shouldn't say. Now he's locked up.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden, so he got some trumped up charges about how he resisted arrest and disorderly conduct or other nonsense.
Exactly. So that's not fair. So basically speaking, what we have to do, because this is not a Staten Island, it's not a New York City or state thing, it's a nationwide thing. And so ultimately speaking, legislation has to start with this year. And that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to be a link in getting this whole thing resolved. And I think once it's resolved, it'll be a much better place for everybody to live in. So that's basically what we're trying to do. And it's not just the NAACP, it's the National Action Network, it's Local 1199, it's TWU, it's the Children's Defense Fund. It's so many different organizations, civil rights, religious organizations, civic organizations that are doing this, because it's been going on for so long.
Yeah.
So it has to stop.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't do good policing. I'm saying just do good policing and don't do these things that get people mad or upset. That's all. And that's what we're trying to do today.
Yeah, now I've known you for some time now. How long have you been with the NAACP?
Well, I've been the president since 97.
97.
Yeah. So, I've seen a lot of things, and a lot of things I've seen have not been corrected, but they should be corrected. So we're just part of the link to get things straightened out.
Department of Justice to begin a full investigation into whether there is a culture of bias pervasive in the policies and actions of the NYPD, and also asking that the Department of Justice intervene in the recent case challenging stop, question, and frisk, in which class action status was granted to people who have been stopped, questioned, and frisked since 2005. This issue is incredibly important to me, far more important than a little sleep. According to statistics released to the Staten Island Advance, 69% or 1,912 of the 2,420 stop and frisk arrests on Staten Island last year were from Black, Hispanic, or Latino communities. Everyone has the right to be safe in every neighborhood, but does this policy effectively reduce crime? Or does it unnecessarily alienate law-abiding citizens? The NYPD stop and frisk policy and practices have been under fire for a number of reasons. First and foremost, it is under attack as a civil rights issue because of the overwhelming evidence of its disparate and far greater impact on people of color, low-income persons, and persons perceived as LGBTQ. In communities of color and ethnic diversity, it has generated ill will and distrust, created a breakdown in the ability of the police to work effectively with residents to address genuine crime issues. The policy also increases lawsuits and the number of officers needed to implement the policy, making it a poor and costly alternative to the community policing. At a time of severe budget constraints, the economic wisdom and the questionable effectiveness of the stop, question and frisk policy puts an additional burden on overtaxed, fee, and fine-laden taxpayers throughout the city. Everyone is diminished by unfair policing policies. Stop and frisk policy practices are transcending race, gender, sexual orientation, and other demographics. Stories emerge every day with testimony of new people coming forth to tell of how these practices have affected them. We're here today, 10 days before the silent march on the 17th, which is Father's Day, to show how we will stand in solidarity with the men who are the future and current fathers of our communities and who have been targeted the most under this policy. Each day, more and more people come out against the blatant violations of New Yorkers' civil rights. I have met with local police officials to discuss these issues, and as chair of the City Council Civil Rights Committee, I am planning various events in the coming months to look more closely at these issues and to vital solutions.
Thank you.
Just quickly, the National Action Network is sponsoring buses for this march on June the 17th, the Stop and Frisk March. The buses will leave from 382 Jersey Street, the Mount Sinai Center for Community in Richmond. Now, I have been given permission to load up as many buses as I possibly can for Staten Island. Well, as many buses as we would like to. So hopefully everyone will come out, but please call this number 347-938-1769 to RSVP if you would like to have a seat on the bus. The buses are free. The buses will leave on June the 17th at 1:30 p.m. sharp. If you have any further questions, please call that number. Thank you. Say it again. The number again is 347-938-1769.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll please ask Reverend Lane, please. She's in charge of the Ministerial Alliance and also the Minister of Reach Out and Touch Ministries. Please.
One of our concerns and issues with regard to stop and frisk is whether or not this is effectively addressing the issues that are in the community. If we look at the statistics and the data, we have increased murders, increased crime, increased bullying, increased everything in terms of crime. If this were a policy that were effective, then why is everything on the increase and why do we see crime on the rise? What we're simply saying is that we are alienating people and individuals with our police department rather than garnering support. We need to readdress this issue immediately. It is something that we know is not effective. We know that it is something that is, instead of being effective, it is increasing the criminality in our communities. We need people at the table that are interested in moving forward. We need a paradigm shift in our police department. Our police department needs to change their ideas about the community and begin to see that there are more law-abiding citizens in the community than there are criminals, and that stop and frisk is not needed. It is something that we are very behind the NAACP with regard to supporting the march on the 17th. Thank you.
from 1199 and SIEU, Staten Island North. I'm here to address the issue of the stop and frisk. I feel that it is a forward step towards our freedom, which is being violated. I think they should review our Constitution. I also feel that stop and frisk violates the person. Instead of encouraging the people in the community of their safety, it appears that they are putting the community in afterthought, which means that they are being violated instead of being helped. If stop and frisk is to save the community, if it is to help the community, then why is there an issue addressing the issue of stop and frisk, which means they feel uncomfortable about it. I think they should have called on the public to vote, call on the public to voice in and call in for opinion concerning the stop and frisk, and then we would have had an answer. Stop and frisk appears to me as it is forcing the people to be subjected under some kind of threat. I also feel that the stop and frisk is never going to help us. It is only going to intense matters to get worse, as far as criminal activity, as far as the people turning against the police, as far as community policing, helping the communities. I feel that this is the wrong way to go about dealing with the public. I feel that we are free in this country, and they should act upon it and act upon the community to make the community feel just that way. Feeling and being free. I feel that it is pushing the people away from the police, the law, and helping the law. And that is my issue addressing stop and frisk.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for coming out this evening. And just one last thing. I spoke to Reverend Terry Troyer a little while before I came here, and she tells me that the police commission has put together a committee to, I guess, investigate the stop and frisk, and she's one of the committee members from Staten Island. So I thank you for coming out, and join us please on June 17th, and let's put a big dent in this stop and frisk policy.
On the 9th.
And also on the 9th of September, this coming 9th of June, this coming Saturday, there will be two programs. One program will be at the College of Staten Island at 2 o'clock. The Deltas are co-sponsoring a program about stop and frisk. I will be one of the panelists. And a lot of people, I think Eric Adams will be there as well. He's the Senator Eric Adams. And also again at 5:45 at Staten Island Museum, there will be another panel. Myself will be included. Also, Ms. Cynthia Davis of the National Action Network will be there. And I believe someone from the police department will be there as well. So Saturday should be a very exciting day. And both of these events are basically speak about stop and frisk policies. And I would urge you all to come out there and see what's going on, because you might have been affected already by stop and frisk, or you might not be, but it's quite possible you might down the road someplace, and you should know how to handle yourself. If you are stopped and you are indeed innocent of any kind of crime, you should know how to handle yourself, because if you don't, you might say something and wind up in trouble. So these events are very important that you do attend and learn something. And I thank you once again for coming out. So please come out Saturday too to learn a few points. Thank you.
Let them know, Ed. You on the Sheldon Henry show?
I'm